Step into the new when you drive a Chevy. It's time for a fresh approach and a new perspective. And find the Chevy that's right for you. Find new experiences, find new roads. Chevrolet.
Hey, welcome back to the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Guy Newcomb, scoreboard guy alongside. We go northwest Missouri, just north of KCI, and we bring in the North Platte head softball coach, Coach Ferris Seckel. And Coach Seckel, thanks for your time today.
You bet.
Coach, first off, let's talk a little bit about the season. You guys are off to a 4-0 start. You've just given up 2 runs all season long. Talk a little bit about the start of the tournament championship you've already got under your belt.
That is our invitational tournament that we start out with every year. We typically, last few years, we've shuffled up teams a little bit. Some teams get out of it and we get new ones in. So we've seen a few different teams the last couple of years, but the girls won the championship this year, and that was their 3rd time in a row starting off their season and winning with a championship to start the season. So they've done a great job.
Tell us a little bit about your conference. Who are some of the members, the schools that are members of your conference, and kind of handicap it a little bit. Where do you guys feel like you're going to fall in?
The KCI conference, in my opinion, for Class 2 in this area, is one of the toughest conferences around. We have Mid-Buchanan in our conference. We have Lawson in our conference. In the past, schools like West Platte, East Buchanan, those have been some tough teams in our conference. And so I think when you come out of the KCI conference and you come out on top, it really says something about you as a team. And typically you do well in the postseason if you're coming out on top of the KCI.
You talk about your conference, very similar teams within your district. I see a East Buchanan, a Lawson, members of your district. Kind of handicap that as well.
This year, the way they set up our districts, we are District 7 in Class 2. The only subtraction for the district would be Penny or Hamilton, Missouri. They're in our conference, but not our district. And handicapping that, last year we made it to the district championship. Fell just short of beating Mid-Buchanan last year. And I think this year we're stacked up to be right there in the top, I would say 3. I think it's gonna be a duke out between us and a few other teams, and there could be some exciting games happen both conference-wise and district-wise.
Well, in an outstanding season a year ago, 22-4, what did you have to replace due to graduation? From last year's team, who are some of the positions or players you had to replace?
Maybe one of our most notable. We had a 2-year All-State catcher, Carly Hinton. She's gone on to Missouri State to be a catcher down there, and further her softball career. Outfield wise, we had 2 big-time All-State outfielders. Jalen Burgess and Olivia Rogers. So they kind of left a gap out there in our outfield for us. We had a starting senior that was both kind of a dual pitcher and first baseman last year. And so she had a lot of leadership last year just as a senior. So replacing those 4 that were continuously in our starting lineup, we're finding people to replace them. And luckily, I've gotten so lucky that with our younger classes coming up, I keep getting good athletes in the mix. I have several utility players this year, and so I've just been moving them around, kind of figuring out what's going to be our best lineup, depending on who's on the mound. Kate, we've got another pitcher. Depending on which one of them is pitching, where should people be playing? Where are most of the hits going to go? Things like that.
Again, we're visiting with North Platte Panthers head softball coach, Ferris Seckel. And Coach, that young lady sitting there next to you has been awarded or selected as a Chevrolet Dealers of the Ozarks Female Athlete of the Week, Kate Wolf. Tell us a little bit about her and what makes her so talented.
Kate's success, I think, is definitely due to her work ethic. She has put in a lot of hours outside of, two hour a day practices for the school. I know it's hard sometimes as an athlete, and I know everybody's busy, but 2 hours a day isn't what's going to get you to the level that Kate is. She has put in multiple hours over many years working on pitching outside of practice time, dedicating a lot of her own personal time to working on pitching, and that's what it takes.
Kate, thanks for being part of the show today.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
You bet. And on behalf of Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks and the Missouri State Highway Patrol, congratulations for being selected as a Missouri Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks Female Athlete of the Week. Thank you. Tell us a little bit from your standpoint. Last week, you go 3-0. The team now is actually 4-0, but the stats I was giving, you go 3-0. You 18 strikeouts, 2 earned runs in those 3 games, and it included a no-hitter. Just tell us from your standpoint what last week was like.
I think that we had some pretty good games. We played. Who did we play?
East Buck.
East Buck was pretty good game. Lexington, Pattonsburg, Winston. I think I pitched my best in the last game against Pattonsburg.
That was the no-hitter.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little bit, you just about what you do to kind of get prepared. Say it's game day, and actually it is game day today, but tell us a little bit about what you're doing throughout the day to kind of get mentally prepared and maybe even physically. You're drinking a lot of water. I know the heat's kind of down here, but what do you do to kind of get prepared?
I think most of it is mental, and I think that I just try to go into it knowing that I'm doing the best I can and that my team is going to back me up defensively and offensively. Even if I do get down, and I have Courtney, the other pitcher, in case I really can't figure stuff out. But I think pitching is a lot of mental stuff, and I think you just have to not hold yourself to too high of a standard, but you have to be prepared to do the best you can.
Going back to the no-hitter against Pattonsburg on the 26th, were you aware, or at what point did you become aware that you had a no-hitter?
I didn't know until after, but I guess I didn't really think about it because they got some hits, but it was
they were put outs.
Yeah. So I don't really realize until after usually when that happens.
And that's why nobody ever talks about it. Your pitcher's not supposed to know, and you're not supposed to say anything about it.
So were people avoiding you on the bench? You're saying, we can't talk. We've got a no-hitter. Well, about
I don't think so. I don't.
I just usually don't focus on that. I just kind of go inning by inning and
what are
talk
some
about it after.
As you look at your schedule, and I do this, I look at schedules throughout the state. Hey, I'd like to be at that game. I'd like to be at that game. When you look at your softball schedule, are there games that you're really looking forward to playing against? Are there teams that you look forward to?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the Mid-Buchanan game because we lost to them last year, and I'd really like to win. And I think Lafayette on Thursday will be fun because I know some of the people playing on that team. And I think Plattsburgh will be a good game.
How about old Sherwood?
Yeah, Sherwood. I didn't get to play them last year because I was gone for that game, but I heard it was exciting.
Yeah. Sherwood was ranked number 1 last year when we saw them. We added them to our schedule late, and they were ranked number 1 at the time, and we were able to beat them out by 1 run. Unfortunately, Kate was sick that week and unable to play. So she didn't get to face Sherwood, but they're still on our schedule for this year, so she's going to get her opportunity now.
And that's at home, and that's September 12th. So that's just a week, 10 days, a couple weeks away. So, again, Kate, on behalf of Chevrolet and the Missouri State Highway Patrol, congratulations, and looking forward to following the rest of the season and looking forward to maybe visiting with you and maybe some of your teammates here as the season goes on. But congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Coach Seckel as well, thank you for helping set this up. And it's normally it's kind of last minute, situations here because I get all these nominations in, and it's always great to kind of put a face and a voice with the name. But congratulations, and thank you for helping set this up.
You bet. Thanks for having us.
You're watching and listening to the Missouri Sports Network at MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow.